Hi, this is Adam Bierman and
Jody Wood.
Princetonia NOW. This show is created, directed, and produced by the great Patrick McDonald, hosted by Adam Bierman, Jody Wood, and Syth DeVoe. I was the field host in most of these second episodes.
Yeah.
So anyway, Martin Luther King, Princeton Community Workshop, Hearts on Fire, Princeton Cupid Chase. This is great again because Patrick, he is the insider for Princeton and what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things going on every month. It's amazing that you get what you can when there's so much going on, and to have a guy doing a show like this in Princeton, I think is awesome.
Yeah, and I think it's going to continue to catch on. I'm glad to be part of it.
Yeah.
This first segment is the Martin Luther King Day at the Arts Council. It was a breakfast. It was interactive with music, interactive workshops, discussions about King's life, and also the racial history of Princeton, which is quite interesting. You know? So let's watch it. In the 60s, there were many great leaders, or infamous leaders, but we had Johnson, the Kennedys, Malcolm X, but above all them, there was King. We're the Princeton Arts Council celebrating Martin Luther King Day, and this is Princetonia Now. We have the new executive director. It's been a year or so.
My 1-year anniversary.
Oh, congratulations. Tanisha, I'm so bad with names, Nash Laird, good Scottish name. And excited to have you here. We're here for the MLK celebration, legacy, hopefully continuing legacy. And I have some questions I actually worked on. First question, this is a loaded one. How do you think you can integrate arts, culture, and the creative community in which we live in to solve social problems?
Oh, wow. The arts are a great way to sort of deconstruct the challenges related to equity and social justice. First of all, it is a way that permits us to learn about other cultures. During the program today, I mentioned how we have been doing things relative to specific cultures. So South Asian with our Bollywood. Last week we had Three Kings, which is a Christmas celebration from the Spanish-speaking community. And what's great is that it's not just people from those communities that have been coming to those specific events, and it's a way that we learn about each other. And so I think that's just one way that the arts can help solve some of those social issues. I think one of those things is that the arts, especially when you see great art, it challenges your thoughts about things. One of the things at the university exhibit that I saw is they took work that they already had, but they put it together in a narrative that helps support the initiative that they're working on, Princeton and slavery, and so the relationships between those different pieces and the pieces and what they represent. So I think I've always been influenced by the arts.
Right. What's coming up exciting in the near future here at the Princeton Arts Council?
So we have a great exhibit right now, Heroes of Comic Art, which was curated by Charles David Vieira. We have some original art from a really dynamic period created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, who were the founders of Marvel, along with some other art that's there. We have the original Black Panther panels, for instance. There's a Black Panther movie coming out, so it was just a coincidence, although we're saying it was intentional, but it's just a coincidence. We have the narrative paintings by Charles David Vieira also on exhibit on our lower gallery. We have something going on pretty much every week and all the time with respect to our exhibits. And thank you so much for providing me an opportunity to plug the Arts Council of Princeton and the Paul Robeson Center for the Arts.
Adam Bierman, Princetonia Now. We're talking to a Mercer County committee member. Your name, sir?
Dwayne Williamson.
Dwayne, you're very active in the community. I see you at a lot of events. Are you running for something?
No, I've considered it, but currently no.
You're a lawyer based in Trenton?
Yes, I'm a Princeton resident, but I do have a law office in Trenton.
Now we're here at Princeton Arts Council for Martin Luther King Day. What inspires your being an advocate, or should I say activism?
I do believe in the American dream. I truly do. And we look at a lot of the issues we're having, a lot of the injustices that are out there now. We look at the history of our country, and I believe, as Martin Luther King did, that in spite of all these things, that there is an idealism in the United States Constitution, and I do believe we can actually create that more perfect union that our founding fathers, and in some cases mothers, wanted to create. One could argue how they felt about certain things at a time. Clearly, a lot of the founding fathers were slave owners, et cetera. But in spite of all that, I do believe the document itself is a living document, and that if the 322 million Americans now, that we can actually use what started back then and all the amendments that were created since then, that we can use that document as a foundation to really create a very, very like a more perfect union, a very good and just society that works equitably for all of its citizens. And I just want to be a part of that process. We have to be idealistic. We have to believe that things can be better than they currently are. And if there are, with all the problems, there's a lot of good in our society. I liked what President Clinton said about that. He said, what is right about America will always triumph over what is wrong about America. I truly believe that. I believe that, and as we've seen the progress that's been made in the decades since the Civil Rights Movement, we have enough very educated, very caring people to derive from their knowledge and their experiences and their aspirations to look at all that's going on in our society and figure out ways to improve things where we can create a more just society. We have great institutions in our country. We have free public school. We have laws that do endeavor to give equal justice, even though certainly these need to be tweaked. Right, we have to do things in a legal way, we have to do things in an intelligent and in an effective way, and that goes to Dr. King also. When Dr. King talked about nonviolence, I believe there was a Christian idealism in that. However, it was also an understanding that violence would not achieve anything. Violence only gives those who like to oppress an excuse to be more oppressive and to do it more effectively. Nonviolence speaks to the good that is in humanity, and I think most people at the core are good. If we look at his speeches, if we look at the I Have a Dream speech, if we look at his final speech the day before he was murdered, it always talked about what's in the Constitution. Where in the last speech he gave, when he says he read somewhere about the right to assemble, he harkens back to the Constitution. That is what real American exceptionalism should be about, is that we have a beautiful written document, a living document, and it's something that no matter where you come from in this world, it's a concept that you can buy into, and that is what makes America great. If we're talking about the greatness of America, and it doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. It doesn't matter, because the people who make America great came from everywhere. There's nothing in the genetics that made it happen of one group over another. Is that we all came here from different places. I originally came here from Jamaica as a kid. I'm a naturalized United States citizen and now a proud nephew of Uncle Sam. I am, and I consider myself a patriot in spite of all that's happening out there, because like King, I do believe we can create that more perfect union.
And like King, as he said, no one is leaving. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Now, this next segment is an evening at the Princeton Community Workshop, where all the Princeton Community works, where they did a kind of a gathering of all different nonprofits to have different workshops, appealing to whatever their particular need is, strategizing, raising funds, how to start a nonprofit, all different kinds of seminars and lectures, and some networking opportunities. And I actually went to it, given I'm trying to get involved in that world with what I'm doing, and it was pretty, it was crowded. It was, a great, fun, festive atmosphere.
The vibe was really
very
progressive.
positive.
Yeah.
The keynote speaker was awesome, and it was all about directing your, positivity, and doing good.
And what can you do today?
What can we do to help people?
Yeah, but the goal was to how can we help other people?
How can we help other people and do it in a positive way? And get more information. And I really want to help, but I'm not really good at marketing, or I'm not good at strategic planning. Well, come and check this out. We can help you.
Yeah, and the great Marge Smith, who's been organizing this for years, and she's all like,
she did an amazing
yeah,
job.
I like her too. She goes, don't talk about my past. Great, but what am I doing now? What can we do today now?
Right.
To me, that was like before that was the internet. Before the internet, you had so many.
You'd go to these
Yeah,
things,
you had
yeah.
so many geniuses. You
Yeah,
had
yeah.
500 heads to talk to get
Yeah.
information and network and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
we
It
should
was-
take a look
It
then.
almost felt like it was the old days. Yeah, definitely. Take a look.
Winston Churchill once said, "We make a living by what we earn, but we make a life by what we give." And that's what happens at Princeton Community Works, a clearinghouse for nonprofits all over New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, you name it. They cut together for workshops, speaking engagements, and networking. Welcome to Princetonia Now and Princeton Community Works. Adam Bierman, Princetonia Now. We're with Catherine Carmichael. What brings you to Princeton Community Works?
So I come to Princeton Community Works every year. I'm the executive director of CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates for Children of Mercer and Burlington Counties, and Marge Smith, who's the organizer of the conference, is on our board. So we bring all of our staff. We have 13 staff members here and board members, and we just think it's such a benefit. It is an incredible conference for such a very small cost. We actually have a lot of volunteers here tonight too, and it's just, I encourage anybody in the nonprofit sector and on a board to come because it's really a really wonderful experience.
Look who we ran into. Another host of Princetonia Now. You wear so many hats. What hat are you wearing today? What brings you to Princeton Community Works?
I was invited to this. I'm here to promote skits, special kind of improvisational theater. The guy that inspired me to do this back in February told me about this event. He's volunteering. I haven't seen him yet, but he's here somewhere. And thought it would be a really great idea for me to come and do some networking with some nonprofits. And that's what I'm here for. So I'm learning all about the nonprofit world.
You're too shy. Skit is unique. Not many people do it. What are you aiming at?
I'm here to help people with special needs develop better social skills, communication skills, and listening skills, things that are going to help them in their life. It's going to make a difference in their life through the principles of improvisational theater. They have a great time, and they're going to learn a lot while they're not even realizing they're learning something and just having a ball and really leading more productive lives.
And all I can say is something, because I've been there, I helped you film sometimes. You see kids who've never really succeeded in much or felt like part of a community become part of a community. They laugh, they giggle, they have a great time, and they become more socialized too.
They do, exactly. And that's what's going to help them, maybe land and keep a job for the rest of their lives, keep a relationship, a meaningful relationship, who knows, a marriage. So these are the goals that we have to just help these kids really develop happier, more productive lives.
That's been Jody Ward and Skit, and Princetonia Now. We'll be right back. Adam Bierman, Princetonia Now. We're talking to a resource, a gem in Princeton, Judith Robinson. Before we even talk about why you're here today, what have you done in the past in the Princeton community?
Actually, I was one of the co-founders of the Princeton Farmers Market and also worked with the state to implement different, non-poisonous pesticides to keep balance between our pest population and, growing food.
Yeah, I've always said, and you've said this too, we talk about drugs, crack, all that's terrible, but no one talks about what we do every day that affects us, what we eat. And there's a lot of crap out there, and you're on the forefront to raising people's consciousness about that with the farmers market.
Well, yeah, and actually you have to start with the soil because whatever in the soil ends up in your food. And that means if the soil isn't healthy, you don't get all the vitamins and minerals that should be there. So if you use a lot of synthetic pesticides and herbicides and fertilizer, it kills off the soil food web, which actually is life.
And
Microcosm.
this is stuff people don't really think about, but it's happening every day. It's a fight every day to try to legislate, fight, educate people about.
Actually, if you're not putting good food into your body, you're not building up your bank account of health.
Right. But let's segue to Princetonia Now and Princeton Community Works. What are you doing here today?
Actually, it's helping to volunteer, to get this place, get the whole, conference going. And it's been a wonderful, really experience because Marge is a terrific leader of all these people. And it's amazing how many volunteers she gets to help.
Yeah, Marge Smith is basically the genesis of all this.
Yes.
She gets all these nonprofits together, the networking, the keynote speakers, at a pretty good price.
Yeah, very, very cheap. Right. And also the whole message of positivity, which is really important to, especially today in the atmosphere we're living in, which is, you have to hold on to that part of your heart.
A lot of hating, not a lot of listening.
Yeah, I know, and support.
And let's end with this. Did you really have a date when you were younger with Al Pacino?
Yes, I did.
That's another story. Thank you, Judith. I'm going to start rolling. We've cornered a humble leader, Marge Smith. She wants to just focus on the work, not herself. But hey, sometimes you got to blow your own horn. You know, how's my emotional IQ doing?
Your emotional IQ is doing great. And I'm so happy that we have this focus on accentuate the positive, because there's so much good that's going on and people are doing, and we need to recognize it and celebrate it.
Every day, every day.
Every day, you got it.
And how many years?
I don't know. I don't keep track
Okay,
because
go on.
I really don't, because it's only as good as the latest one.
I like that.
I mean, what difference does it make if it's not good now? It's not good.
You're like in the moment today. That's right. Who really cares? In a way.
Who cares?
Right.
I don't care.
So what are you positive about?
I'm positive about all the good. I love to create things for people. I think it's fun to design ways, and I truly believe that in order to work together, we have to encourage diversity to work together and talk and create systems. So that's what my workshop's about.
And that's what she does. Thank you, Marge Smith.
Thank you.
Adam Bierman, Princetonia Now. We have some stardust here. We have Dr. Pinkett, Mercer County native, Hightstown, winner of The Apprentice.
Yes.
Was it? What about your career trajectory? It's pretty amazing. Do you feel blessed, or did you make it happen yourself?
Well, I definitely didn't make it happen myself. I am a proud product of Mercer County, Hightstown, East Windsor, greater Princeton area. And even today, the woman who introduced me was my high school guidance counselor. She was my guidance counselor, Shirley Satterfield, at Hightstown High. Then she came to Princeton High School as well. So people have poured into me and have mentored me and have taught me, and I've been the beneficiary of all of what they've poured into me. So I've been blessed.
You give back so much. That last speech, so much passion and motivation. How do you keep yourself motivated? How do you keep the engine running?
Well, I talked about it in my remarks. I am living out my passion. I love what I do. I've been an entrepreneur since I was a kid who tried to sell his toys to other kids in my neighborhood. So I believe when you love what you do, you'll never work another day in your life. That's what Oprah says. And I really do believe that. So when you love your work, it keeps you motivated naturally because it doesn't feel like work. So right now, as an entrepreneur, I'm living my dream.
Can you forecast in the next 5 years? I mean, where are you going? Do you have high goals for yourself? Where do you want to be?
I do. I continue to work hard as an entrepreneur to grow my company. We've got goals for where we want to be in the next 5 to 10 years in terms of revenue and growth and staff and global expansion and the like. Big focus right now on analyzing data and big data for us. And then from there, who knows what the next frontier will be for me. I suspect there's another chapter for me after entrepreneurship, which remains to be seen.
We haven't forgot your roots, and maybe you'll come back and talk to us in the next 5 years.
I hope so.
Dr. Pinkett, thank you very much. We go
Thank
from
you.
the Frist Center to outside on a cold but brilliant Palmer Square day. There was ice sculpture. It's not even I thought it was a lost art, but the man they interviewed said a lot of people are doing it.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, but
They can do that.
I always wonder who does that. But he
Yeah.
says you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
On every state they're doing it, and they were carving up ice into everything. I being a little bit narcissistic myself, there was a throne there of ice, and I
Like
sat
a
in
king's
it.
throne?
Yeah, so I wasn't in the hot seat.
In the cold seat.
Right, there's a picture of me there. And
So you were king for a day
Yeah.
or a minute.
but it's true, people were fascinated. Everyone stopped to look.
Yeah,
For
well,
some reason,
it's a whole art. I mean,
yeah,
it's
but and they just take a block that looks so forbidding, and
Yeah.
like you couldn't do anything with it, and they're just like, with a
it's
chainsaw.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Wedding.
Really.
So let's go to Palmer Square and check it out.
Yeah, take a look.
Adam Bierman, Princetonia Now. They say the climate might be warming, but not in Palmer Square today. We have ice sculptures. We're going to find out who's making them, how it makes people feel, and who knows what else. I'm talking to,
Jamie Volker,
and
Liz Egan.
you guys coordinate the efforts here at Palmer Square. So what are we seeing today, and what else is coming up in the future?
So today we have an ice sculpting event. It's a Valentine's Day theme, perfect for Valentines of all ages, kids, adults. There's going to be some interactive demonstrations. Some of them are going on currently, but you'll be able to sit in a throne and take a picture. You'll be able to, the wings are already out. You'll be able to take your picture with a set of wings. There's some great love sculptures coming, 6-foot polar bear. So it's a lot of fun. Hoping the rain holds out, and we'll be here as long as the ice will stay formed. After this, we still have our Mind, Body, Soul series going on. So every weekend through the end of February, there are events, free workshops in the different retailer stores. In March 24th, we have our first annual Easter egg hunt. April 22nd, we have a princess shopping spree, a Mom and Me princess shopping spree. Girls Night Out comes in May. And the hotel's doing a wedding showcase on March 11th. March 11th. So there's a lot. There's a lot of events.
And they can go to, what's the website? Maybe.
At palmersquare.com. You can visit that. See all of our events on our event page, see what's going on and the latest things that are happening around the square.
Your name is?
I'm Peter Slavin from iSculpturePhilly.com.
Interesting. I have to be honest with you. We just talked to someone earlier, and they said ice sculpting is a lost art. Is that true?
I do not believe that at all.
A lot of people doing it?
Yeah, there's over 800 professional ice sculptors around the country that they do for a living, and there's probably about 40 companies around the country.
How did you get into this? Why did you get into this?
Basically, for me, I was going to art school, and I was cooking in restaurants in New York City, and I saw a gentleman sculpting on a loading dock, and I was fascinated. I was 19 years old.
It just caught you. It caught you and stuff.
Yeah, it's my passion.
How does it make you feel then when you do it, though?
It's ice is kind of like life. It's temporary. It's art that's only there for a little bit of time, so it's fun to see everybody's expressions and watch, because it's a fast medium to create art. So you can get your point across really fast.
And it is unique. I mean, everyone. It's almost like putting out bait for a fish. Everyone just stops and they look.
Yeah, they love it. And people are fascinated. They walk by and they go, "Wow, that's frozen water." Yeah. And then we work it, the ice, so it becomes a work of art.
Well, thanks again. This has been Adam Bierman, Princetonia NOW. Someone who's close to my heart, even though it's cold. Desire. What's wrong? You're blocking. I know there's a cold spot in your heart, and it's hard to reach me, but I would appreciate it if you could.
Well, next up is the Princeton Cupid's 5K race run by PrincetonCupid.com.
It's not Princeton Cupid, it's just Cupid.com.
Cupid.com.
Huge dating site and everything.
Right, right.
You're not on it.
No,
of
I
course,
don't.
Being married.
I have to be on a dating site. But
oh, maybe not under your original name. No.
Yeah.
Anyway, but go on. Yes.
Yeah, and apparently it was to raise funds for people with disabilities. I mean, everybody was invited to go run with babies in not wheelchairs, strollers. People in wheelchairs, anybody who wanted to participate, do a 5K and raise some money for a good cause.
And I think the Trenton Thunder mascot was there.
The dog?
I think it was a dog, big dog.
He's running around with a bat in his mouth?
He stuck his big nose in my armpit and everything, but it...
well, I guess that takes care of him.
Yeah.
They need a new mascot now.
Yep, right. So let's check out the serious runners, not looking for love, but looking to win. Cupid.com, the 5K. Yeah. Adam Bierman, Princetonia NOW at the OK Cupid 5-kilometer race. Fun, recreation. It's OK Cupid, maybe something else. They're getting ready on a somewhat seasonable day. Makes me want to exercise. No, maybe not. You're about to run 5 kilometers.
Yes, I am feeling pumped and excited. Yes, it's my first time to run a 5K, so I'm going to be really happy doing this.
Quickly, I know you're about to run. Any ritual before you run to prepare yourself?
Drink orange juice.
Do you hope to meet somebody here? It's OK Cupid, or?
I don't know. It depends on the stars.
You're cute.
Thank you.
Quick interview, Princetonia NOW. Mother, daughter, family? Mother, daughter.
Just kidding, we're
Sisters. Do you run a lot?
Probably yes. 3 times a week.
Are you competitive? Who's going to win between you three? That says a lot. Thank you. We're talking to, I'll just call her Julie from the Princeton Shopping Center. Warm, empathetic, always moving. And now I caught you on your phone, and now this is a covert, should I say, we're making you be interviewed. What's happening right now?
We are getting ready for Cupid's Chase 5K. It's been here as long as I have, for 16 years, and it's got so much energy and enthusiasm that, you just can't even get that in a cup of coffee.
There's also there's a component too that people are running to raise money for homeless advocacy, homes for disabled.
Yes, it's a very huge cause, which Community Options is an advocate for, and a lot of people don't realize about Cupid's Chase. So it's happening at many states right now and at the same time. So it's a real powerful experience.
Well, Julie, you're multitasking. I see you're you're on your phone, looking out of the corner of your eye and talking to me, so I'll let you go. But great job.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Robin, you're here witnessing this 5-kilometer race. Are you here to support her?
I'm here in support. I'm actually a sponsor, but I also work with the Homes of Community Options. I love what they do. I think they're a really upstanding organization.
How does the race help your home? What's it called again?
Community Options.
What's the connection?
With me?
No, with you say they're supporting.
Oh, so they raise money through the organization. I'm not really a spokesperson for them, but I know it goes back towards funding their organization or not-for-profit, which is the homes that they provide for the disabled individuals that live in the community homes around local Princeton area.
That's great. So it's running, exercise, maybe meeting a potential mate, and also providing homes for their disabled. Adam Bierman, Princetonia NOW. That's it. Got it. We're talking to a potential lawsuit's about to happen. No, I love you, Boomer. Boomer, it's almost baseball season. Well, in my mind, it's February, like the Nadar, but it's going to come soon. Are you excited?
Hi, I'm Syth DeVoe. I was one of the second unit cameramen for the Princetonia NOW segment on the Cupid's Challenge. The runners who came by, it was just before they finished at the shopping center. They're very enthusiastic. Whether or not they have a lot of energy, a physical energy, that was a different issue, but they had a lot of enthusiasm, looked like they were having fun. Everyone always seemed to smile. It was funny too because I had a long shot down Harrison Street, so I could see them as they came from a distance, 100, 200 yards away. And as they got closer, when they were walking from being tired and they saw that they were being filmed, they kind of picked it up again, which is perfectly natural. Quite a lot of fun. So it was a fun shoot to be a part of, and I'm happy to have been a part of Princetonia NOW.
A lot of fun making the show.
Yeah,
Martin
it's
Luther
great.
King Day, serious, not too serious, so
Yeah.
and uplifting. The 5K race,
Yeah.
ice sculptures,
And
you.
this is the
no
winter.
problem.
Imagine what it's going to be like in the spring and summer.
Yeah, and we can't always be on every month. We're
Right.
a little selective.
Yeah,
We pick and choose.
There's a lot of things going on. You want to, present what we think is going to be interesting
Relevant,
to you.
right.
Relevant.
I hope you do watch the show. I watch it. Did you get a chance to
it's
watch
great.
it?
And if you get a chance to watch it and you enjoy it, tell your friends because there's a lot of, it's a lot of fun to watch and it builds the sense of community.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people say, I don't know, I don't know much about the community. I think it's out there. This is definitely out there because you can watch it, digest it, and be entertained very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And know what's going on and what you want to be part of.
Yeah, and you're informed. And exactly. You feel like you're part of things.
Right, and if you're single, then you don't have to go to Cupid.com. You watch Princetonia NOW and see where all the cool
There you
people
go.
are, and
That's
they just
right.
hang out. So please watch it again. And this is Adam Bierman
and Jody Wood,
and we are
Princetonia NOW.
Now.